Do you like my doggy backpack, fourth graders? I hope you do. It is lesson 6.12. Today we are looking at some number stories that involve some mixed numbers. Okay? And so you might remember back a couple of months ago when we added and subtracted mixed numbers and really practiced that a lot, but we didn't really see them very much in any word problems. And today we're going to be able to see that and notice that. Does your backpack ever get really heavy? Yeah, sometimes they do, and sometimes not so much. Here's our math message problem. This says Deborah is choosing between two school backpacks. The Dabbing Panda one, ooh, I like that one, weighs 1 5/8 pounds. The Flower Lips one weighs 2 1/8 pound. Which one weighs more? And then how much more? Well, let's start with the easier question there. Which backpack weighs more? Dabbing Panda is less, right? So Flower Lips is more for sure because it has 2 whole. How much more? Oh, you know these words. How? Well, hang on. Well, no, that's not supposed to move. Let's put that there. There we go. How much more? This is a phrase that always has us comparing things to be able to find the difference. Not like the difference, but like saying one has a panda and one has lips, but the difference in the weight, right? Not one's heavier and one's lighter, but the actual number, right? How much heavier? All right, take a moment and see if you can figure out how much more, how many more pounds is the Flower Lips one? All right, math message. We should have done 2 1/8 minus 1 5/8. Now, if you have an answer of 1 4/8, that would not be correct. And here's why, right? Here we have, always start with the fraction, 1/8 minus 5/8. The bigger number is on the bottom. Whenever the bigger number is on the bottom, we have to borrow. Big bottom, borrow. Right? We cannot flip this around and say, oh, I'm just going to make this 5/8 minus 1/8. Nope, math doesn't work like that. Hey, you can do that when you're adding or multiplying. You can change the numbers around, but not when you're subtracting or dividing. So I have to borrow from this 2. And remember, I'm going to now have 9/8. Because this one that I took out was 8/8. 8/8 plus 1/8 equals 9/8. It's a little cheat way to remember. If you just add these two numbers up, then you know what should go on the top. 9/8 minus 5/8 is 4/8, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So 4/8 of a pound, LB for pound. I don't know why, but there's a reason. 4/8. Do you know anything that's equivalent to? Yeah, that's equivalent to 1/2. So this flower guy here, maybe his lips weigh more. 1/2 of a pound or 4/8 of a pound more. Okay, Mr. White's going to model one here for you now since we kind of let you explore that first one. Jessica is choosing between 2 backpacks. The pink one weighs 1 6/8 pounds. The purple one weighs 7/8 of a pound more than the pink one. How much does the purple backpack weigh? Right? Comparing, finding the difference. When we say difference in math, we're not talking about, well, one's purple and one's pink. We're talking about subtraction. 1 6/8 minus 7/8, so 0 7/8. 7/8 is more than 6/8, so I have to borrow. And over here now, what is 6 plus 8 is 14. 14/8. Now I can subtract 14/8 minus 7/8 equals 7/8. And are we in pounds still? We are. LBS is the abbreviation for pounds. All right. So what is something here that you saw Mr. White do that you want to remember to do when you're working? probably borrow correctly. Now, we might have problems, and these two were subtraction problems, but not all of the ones that we're going to see today. In fact, some of them contain two steps, which is why we're going to work on one together. Our goal here, I will add and subtract fractions and mixed numbers to solve number stories. You can see it, right? With real world problems involving addition and subtraction of fractions. All right, turn in your math journal, please, to page 220. And what I want us to do here is to actually look at the next page, because we're going to do number 4 here together. So I'm going to zoom in on number 4 so that we can see number 4 really well. Number 4, Ethan's full backpack weighed too much. He took out a 4/8 of a pound electronic reader, a 2 1/8 pound full bottle of water, and a 7/8 pound combination lock. Now the backpack weighs 8 5/8 pounds. How much did the backpack weigh before Ethan took out the supplies? Let's think about this here. If we want to figure out how much the backpack weighed before, right? He took stuff out. We have to figure out before. Does his backpack weigh more or less before he took all that stuff out? It weighs more, right? If you take things out, that means that they got lighter. So the original backpack, before he took it out, would weigh the most, right? When all that stuff was still in there. So let's see. What did he take out? 4/8 of a pound and 7/8 of a pound and 2 1/8 of a pound. What do you think I should do with those three numbers? I am going to add them. Why should I add them? I should add them because we want to know how much he took out of his backpack. I'm going to use parentheses here in my number model because I know I'm going to need to do something else here. You can write with me. In fact, you need to write with me. 4/8 plus 2 1/8 plus 7/8. All right. And then whatever that answer is, remember we said that our answer is going to be more than this. So am I going to need to add 8 5/8 or subtract 8 5/8? I have to add it. I have to add it because the backpack, we're figuring out how much the backpack weighed at the beginning while it was still really heavy. So whatever I get there, I'm going to add to 8 5/8. Now, look at this. Is that enough room to do my work? No. In fact, this is a terribly designed page. So you'll want your dry erase board. You'll want your dry erase board and all those, or a notebook, something that you can, I can't erase my circle there. Something you can use. I can make a new page. There we go. So I'm going to be adding 4/8 plus 2 1/8 plus 7/8. All right, let's do that over here. Plus 2 1/8 plus 7/8. Nope, that's not good. Let's erase that. Can we move that over there? Because we want 7/8, of course, to be under the fractions. We have to keep the place values correct, right? All right, we add up the fractions first. 4 plus 1 plus 7. How many eighths do we end up with here? 12 eighths. And then 2. Now this looks weird, doesn't it? Do you remember what we did? We're going to take 8 eighths out of here. We're taking 8 eighths away and we're putting it over here because that's one whole. So now we have 3. And if I took 8 eighths out of 12 eighths, I have 4 eighths left. Right? 3 4 eighths. All right. Now that, remember, this is the pounds of all the stuff he took out. Label those answers as you go. Labeling your answers helps your mind keep track of where you are. It's a good way to think through a problem. Now we need to add the rest of his backpack. 8 and 5/8. So I'm going to take what we had here, 3 and 4/8 plus 8 and 5/8. 8 and 5/8. And actually, you're going to do this problem. What do you get? All right, so when you add this up, you get 9/8 and 11. 11 and 9/8. This looks weird. We're going to take 8/8 out. We're going to give that over there. So now there's 12. And then you would have 1/8 left over. Now, I will say, if you do write this, I'll probably count it right. But this is far better, and you will have to do that as you move into 5th grade, okay? Because you have to provide what's called the lowest terms, or the simplified fraction. 12 and 1/8 pounds. So I would record that in my math journal. 12 and 1/8 pounds. Hey, they already put pounds there. Now, we are not doing part C. Part C does not support our objective. Our objective here is doing real world addition, subtraction problems involving fractions and mixed numbers. This is about ounces. We might come back to it another time, but we are not doing that today. So the ones you are doing today, there's that objective that I was just talking about. See, there's nothing about ounces here, so I don't want to bring that into this lesson. You are completing number 1, 2, and 3. Now, I know there's a 5 and a 6. If you want to do those, you can. But you have to complete page 220. However, remember, we're not doing part C. I guess you can if you want to, right? If you remember ounces, remember that was times 16. But then there's all these fourths involved, and it really just kind of makes a mess out of this page. There is obviously no room to do any of these problems on this page. So make sure you've got dry erase board, scrap paper, so that you can do a nice job. If you try to do these in your head, you're going to get most of them wrong. And we don't want that. We want to practice the correct way. All right, 4th graders, that's all for today. This has been our lesson about adding and subtracting fractions and mixed numbers in word problems. You're, of course, going to have to understand the problem before you start trying to answer anything and think, well, am I going to be combining something together, or am I taking something away? And that's going to be a key decision for you to make. All right. Good luck.